Hello everyone, welcome to my stamp studio. I'm Beth Maxwell. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I just had to go turn my speaker off. Sorry about that. I'm here today to bring a new class series to you, and it is I'm bringing birthdays back, and it is a birthday card series that we'll be doing for the next couple of weeks. I do have it posted on the days that we'll be doing it, and it is on my website, and I just have to go over there so I can tell you the dates as we go through. It'll be like every 2 weeks, so it'll be I'm sorry, the first, the second, and the fourth Thursday of June, July, and August. So there'll be at least 6 classes, and each class will feature 4 cards, and I'll be working specifically with certain stamp sets. I'll try to carry them over each week so you can get some really good ideas with just a couple different stamp sets, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But let me tell you about this class. So here's how the class works. This is an online class. You can totally watch for free, enjoy yourself, have fun, chit chat with people that are in the class. But you can get the class kit for free when you place a $35 in my online store. So that $35 order is retail before shipping, handling, and tax. And I will gift you this card class. So there is a host code that's associated with the class. So when you place your $35 order, you need to use that host code because that tells me that you want this class. And then at the end of the sales period, so this week 1 is June 8th through June 17th, I will put any orders in that I need to and ship it out. I'm going to be offering an embellishment, so if you spend $50 or more in my online store from June 8th to June 17th using that host code, and I'll flip down my camera and you'll see it, you will get an embellishment from me. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get started. I'm going to flip my camera down. Now it's going to take me a moment because my whole camera setup just completely switched around. I don't know, when I went live last night, I forgot to put it back the way it should be. So I have to do a little bit more maneuvering with my camera than I usually do. So bear with me. Close your eyes if you get dizzy. It'll just take me a moment or so. So we're almost there. Not quite, so don't look up yet. All right, make sure I got my desktop here, and I've got some light on the subject. There we go. Do I need more light here? There. I think that will be pretty good. And so hi Amy, hi Judy, welcome. I hope you're going to enjoy today's class. This is one of the more fun things that I like to do when I do serious classes. I just have a lot of fun with it. So I hope you have fun with these cards. Now these cards are a little bit more stepped up than I normally do in our virtual class on Thursday nights, and that's why you're only getting 4 of them, because we're going to step it up just a little bit. We're going to have a little fun. They're not going to be hard. It's just going to be a little more stepped up. That's all. And by stepped up, I mean we're going to be doing maybe some fun folds and adding a little bit more card stock than we normally would for some quick cards. So yeah, let me just get my printout so I can show you that host code. Right. So here is our host code, and now I just need to get my feedback up here because I don't see the video. Oh, you can see my whole world of mess. Didn't think about that when I did my camera either. Oh well, I'm sure everyone else has a mess in their craft room on occasion too, right? All right, and if you don't, I think you're lying. All right, let me do one more thing. There we go. All right, I can see the comments. So excited about that. There we go. And hello, Beth. How are you? Okay, so here's our host code, and this is good from June 8th to June 17th. Place a $35 order in my online store, and you're going to get this class kit. So the class kit, what it is you're going to get your envelope filled with all the supplies you need for that particular card, all put together. They're going to be 4 different envelopes, so you'll have 4 different cards to make. They'll be put in a nice little bag, and the bag will be labeled, so I'll have the class name on it. So it'll have our birthday series week 1, It'll have a link to the video. Now this video is also going to go up on YouTube. So this week is a little bit longer in the chit chat in the beginning, just so I can explain it to everybody. But yeah, these videos will be uploaded to YouTube, so don't worry about it. If you have a friend who is not a Facebook fan, you can reach out to them and say, hey, watch this on YouTube. She's a lot of fun. The cards are a lot of fun, and they can earn these card kits too. So let's see, is that the one I want to start with? I don't think it is. I'm just going to move this up. I'm going to have to move it out of the way while we're stamping, and then I'll bring it back on a little bit later. I'll also put it in the comments in the video. So let's see. I think I might start with my Supremely Amazing one. Yeah, let's start with that one because it's just a fun card. I'm actually making a bunch of card swaps, and I'm using this stamp set. So the stamp set that we're going to be using is called Supremely Awesome. It does not have any dies with it. It does not have any punches with it. We're just going to be using the stamp set and maybe pulling in some of our other things that we have on hand. So I've got my handy dandy, oopsie, I just dropped everything on my foot. I had my stamps out earlier, so I've got my stamps there. And these are for the next project. These are for the next project. Oh my goodness, everything fell out. And let's see, I just need my blends. So I've actually gone ahead and colored my little guides in, but I'll show you how I colored those. I just happened to do them ahead of time. All right. Some things I'll do ahead of time just so it doesn't take so long to do. Now, with your class kit, I also email you the tutorial. Now, the tutorial has all the supplies that I use. It will have all the measurements and step-by-step directions, as well as a link to the videos. So I'm probably not going to be giving a whole lot of measurements during the class, so it'll be part of your class kit. All right, I'm not going to be using this one, but we're going to be using our pizza guy, and we'll be using a piece of pizza, and we'll be using this strip. Now, because everything is birthday, I need to pull in a stamp set with birthdays. So I have a couple, and totally up to you on what one you pull in. I'll be probably using these throughout the series. I have circle sayings because I do like the happy birthday. I like the smile today because you're awesome. I think those are really fun ones for birthdays. I have something fancy, so you could always use this step set as well, because you know what? I am terrible about sending cards out. Believe it or not, I make a ton, and I forgot to send them out. So I love this one. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. Love that. That is totally me. All right. And then, of course, our go-to greetings. Tons of happy birthday ones in here. I love this stamp set. You got your thank you, thinking of you, and your birthday. It is a great go-to stamp set. It really is. So I'll be picking one of those out when I get to that point. All right. So now in your little envelope here, you have quite a bit of pieces. And we have one larger piece of basic white. Now this is going to be used for your part of your card as well as your little pizza guy image. So let me just I need to grab my Real Red blend, and I'll need my Daffodil Delight. I'm using a light now, and I'll need, I think that's it, my black Memento. Oh, I'll need a little bit of Granny Apple Green for my green peppers. All right. Or I can color them something else. It doesn't matter. All right. So just grab the green. All right. So let's stamp our image first. So I'm going to grab my larger block. Oh, I wanted to grab two other things. So I'm grabbing my smoky slate, my light for my pan, my pizza pan. And I'm also grabbing my pecan pie for my crust. So in this card, I'm using quite a few blends. I'm not really using a whole lot of stamp sets, but I am using several blends. Throughout the series, you're going to be seeing me use a variety of different inks and coloring techniques. That's just so you can see what's out there. You can use any of the tools that you have at home. If you have blender pens or watercolor pencils or markers, you can use any of them. It doesn't matter. You can use an ink pad and a blender. Totally fine. Use what you have, or you can purchase that in the online store for $35 and get the kit for free. All right, and there's one other thing I need. Oh, and this is my just in case. So when I'm stamping with this stamp set, I have found on occasion that I haven't got my image really inked up well, or maybe my stamp pad wasn't as inked as I wanted it to be. So I found pulling in my light basic black is a helper. And you'll probably find out why. So let's go ahead and let's stamp this guy. And we're going to end up cutting him out. Now, like I said, I've already done that before. I'll tell you what colors I've used. So on him, I actually did one of the skin tone colors. It's the light. And this is one of the medium. So I just decided to, I don't know, try some different colors, some skin tones, and see what it turned out. I really do like this guy. He's really cute. All right. So now I just inked my pad. So I'm hoping that I get a nice inked image. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. And I'm going to give it a good press. I'm going to hold down for a moment. Now I don't want to hold down too long because what can happen is it can stick to your cardstock. So I'm just pressing it down. And that actually turned out really well. Sometimes what will happen is this will be a little bit light or you'll have a little spotty. And if you're not using a Stamparatus or Misty or something, you can't really line up your stamp again. So I'll take my black here and I'll just fill in where I feel I need a little bit of color. All right, just like that. There we go. No one's the wiser. All right. Now, we'll color him in, and the easiest way I have found to color is I take my daffodil here, and I usually like to let this dry for a little bit. So usually I do all sorts of stamping, and then I come back to color, especially when I'm coloring with a light color, because sometimes I can pull that black memento. Now, with the lighter colors, I tend to go in one direction. I don't go back and forth. I don't go in circles. I just go in one direction. I just found that works better for me. Now I'm going to take my dark real red here and we're going to color in the pepperoni. Notice I've already colored in with daffodil. That's totally fine because you know what? It kind of lightens this red up and makes it look more, you know, pepperoni is not always really a dark red. It's more of a orangey red. So there you go. Nice and quick and easy. And I'm going to grab my pecan here and we're going to go ahead and give it a well-cooked crust. All right, just like that. We'll grab our smoky slate here, and we're going to go ahead and color our tray. Now, if you didn't have a pecan, and you just wanted to use your smoky slate, go ahead and make it a pan pizza, and color the crust and the tray all in smoky slate. Another little tip for you. All right, I'll color his skin tone, whatever color I happen to decide. I'm just showing you kind of briefly what I did for coloring. I'm going to use the one I have already colored and cut out. And I just added some little cuffs here. I just felt he needed a little pop of color. All right, so that's it for my guy. Now, I am going to take my trimmer here, and I am going to cut down this piece. So this was 8.5 inches long. So I'm going to cut this at, I'm going to go at 4 1/4 here. You know what, I'm just going at 4 1/4. We'll make everything else work. I didn't really do my measurements. I didn't write them down, so I'm going to have to just kind of eyeball it. All right, so now I've got my little pizza guy here. Oop, I need to finish cutting him out. Didn't realize I missed that. All right. Now, if you want to cut that out, go ahead. If you're not into fussy cutting and you don't want to deal with that, you don't have to. It looks fine if you don't. So like on this one, I did not cut that out. Right. Totally up to you. All right, now I need a little sip of something here. All right. I do need a scrap piece of paper, and I need my real red ink pad. Where'd I go with it? Okay. And my scrap paper is right here. Okay, I'm going to stamp let's get our pieces out here so I can get them cut down. All right, so I have a piece of basic black, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. That's my card base. I have a piece in here that is 4 by 5 1/4. That's for the inside of my card. And you know what? Let's stamp that right away. While I'm thinking of it, while I have the blends all sitting here, I'm going to grab my large piece of pizza. If I can get it out of the box here. Oh my goodness, it's really stuck in there today. Here we go. There we go, my large piece of pizza. And we'll go ahead and grab my black memento again. I probably shouldn't press down too hard. Again, I just re-inked this earlier today because I was stamping a ton of my little pizza guys. All right, and stamp your pizza wherever you want. You want to stamp a couple of them? Go ahead and stamp a couple of them. You know what? Why not? Let's just do it. We'll stamp one over here. Ooh, well, that wasn't good. Let's flip that over and try that again. I don't know what I did. All right, got one here. I mean, no one can eat just one piece of pizza, right? Just saying. Yeah, we'll just do this one this way. Just go in all sorts of directions. All right, we'll grab our blends again. And actually, I can use the brush side, I think, just to do this a little faster. Oh, I didn't know there was like a little basil leaf or something on here. Good thing I pulled in my green, huh? Oh, and there's a little mushroom. Now this is a deluxe. The little front one only had a pepperoni. You could add some other things, like you could just draw some lines in to make your, you know, what do you call it? Green pepper. So we're just going to color, we're going to just do our, that side's kind of dried out. Okay. I am not freezing as far as I know, Judy. So I think it may be your computer. Before I actually color these pieces, what I really should do is color all my cheese in. So I'm going to color this in. And I'm just going to color everything, but I'm not going to get the mushroom. Okay, because the mushroom is going to be that smoky slate. I don't think it'll work well with yellow. All right. So I'm just going to do that. You could use whatever yellow you have to do your cheese. Maybe you're having an Alfredo pizza and don't even have cheese on it. I don't know. Go with it. All right. Back to my green here. And we'll just do our... I really don't know what that's supposed to be. I mean, I don't have ever big leaves of anything on my... Maybe it's supposed to be like spinach? No, I don't know. That's not really a spinach shape. You could make those red peppers, whatever color peppers you want. All right. And add our red for our... Now, the reason I'm doing this now is because I don't want to be coloring on my cardstock here when it's already on my base. Now, with the black, it wouldn't matter. But if you're using a different color, it's potentially that it could bleed through. So you don't want to do that. And then we'll get our mushroom here. And like I said, I'm just going to do... I don't know why I keep grabbing that one end. All right. I know crumb cake probably would have been a better color for my mushroom, but it is what it is now. All right. Let's grab our sentiment saying, "You're supremely awesome." And that is going to be our inside sentiment here. Now, where did I do with my long block? Here it is. All right. Let's just, sorry about that. I didn't mean to clink that so hard. All right, I'm just going to pick that up. And so I don't wiggle. I'm just going to bring my stamp pad to my block and look through it, and you are supremely awesome. There we go. All right. Get this cleaned. Just trying to clean my stamps as I go here so that I can just put them all back where they belong in a moment or two. Oh, I didn't clean that one. Oh well. I'll get that one to later. All right, I need this one now because I'm going to bring in my strip of red here. Now this red is about 1 inch by 4 inches. I just grabbed a scrap. Doesn't really matter how long it is. And we'll take this big strip here. Now, I'm not really worried about it fitting on my block. Like, I'm not going to go grabbing a whole nother block to do that. We do have blocks that are really long, but I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm just going to stamp that in just to make sure. All right. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to just stamp right on there. And I'm going to trim this out anyways. So I just wanted to get that little strip. So you'll have a 1 inch wide strip in your container, but you'll be cutting it down. All right, let's get this cleaned. Because this, I would probably put my hand in and then have a hot mess. And I get it all over my envelope and everything else like that. All right. So just take our scissors now. And just, you can use your trimmer if you want. I am just going to simply just run along here. I'm not really concerned if it's perfect. Now this would be good for if you're doing the, like a motorcycle or a car on your card, because it could be like a racing flag. So, all right. So we've got our inside. Let's go ahead and adhere our inside, get that out of our way. And where my seal go? My seal. All right, I guess I'll use my Seal Plus. Oh, there it is. Right here in front of me. All right. So how many of you like to make birthday cards and have them on hand, so when it's time to send one out, you actually have one ready? See, that's what usually happens. I don't have them ready in time to send them out. So that's why they don't get out. All right, so now I've got this piece here. And what I want to do here is I'm going to cut this down a little bit. And I'm going to cut this to be, well, right now it's 4. So we'll do 3 3/4. And then we'll do 5. Now all your pieces like this will be already cut for you. All right. Now, difference here is you do need to do your own corner rounding. So all I'm going to do is just round my corners just like this. I'm not going to be really particular if they're perfect. I'm just going to round them. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to put this. I'm going to put in this here. You know what? Let's go ahead and cut this down to be, this strip here is a little bit big. I'm going to trim this one down to be 4 inches long. I think I have a little bit longer than that right now. So I'm going to go to 4 inches. And yeah, 3 inches is good. Now because he's 2 3/4. So I want to put my designer series paper on top of that. So this is a 3 by 6 piece that you'll be getting. All right, so we're just going to do that, and we'll cut it down to 3 3/4. So it's a 3 by 3 3/4. Right. I'm going to put that right on top. Have that little bit of white showing. Just like that. We'll be putting our little menu stripe right here. And then we're going to be popping him up right here. So that's going to be our card. But I feel like I need to have a little bit of background here. And I feel like I'm kind of distant here. Maybe I'll zoom in just a little bit. Okay. Let's just add a little bit to the card. And instead of bringing in another color, I am just going to actually bring in my, we're going to be bringing in our embossing folder. And my embossing folder is where? I love this brick embossing folder. It is a exposed brick one. So it's just a really fun one to use. So we'll need our large die cut machine here. Now I'll run this through for you so you won't have to worry about the embossing. I'll have that done, but you'll still need to run your corners. Sorry, I'm not going to do that piece for you. You got to do a little work. Right. So I'm just going to put this in, run this through. It'll give us some depth and dimension to our card without having to do more stamping. Now, if you wanted, you could grab your Versamart ink and, stamp some of the little spatulas or the pizza around the back. Totally up to you. If you don't have this stamp set, you can substitute a stamp set that you have. This design is just a really fun design. And oops, I thought I had those done already. Let's adhere that all together. Kind of got ahead of myself in my head. You ever do that? Oh, I thought I did that. Darn. All right. And let's see where I want to have that. All right, that looks good. I'm going to use liquid glue on this piece only for the fact that it's embossed and it has just a really kind of some deep grooves in there. So I like to use this. So it kind of like, I don't want to say soaks down, but kind of sinks in to all the crevices there. All right. I have been thinking today, it's been Friday all day. It's been a little rough. Because tomorrow is actually Friday. I do have to still work tomorrow. I'm kind of bummed. I guess I'm just really excited because the babies are coming soon and I get to finally meet them. I can't wait. I think my son is going to make an excellent father. I can't wait to see him with them. All right, we're just going to move this out of the way. I'm going to put this right to the edge. There we go. Go ahead and just add our adhesive here. I probably should have used liquid glue again because I'm gluing on an embossed piece. But we're going to just go ahead and risk it. All right. I'm going to bring in my little pizza guy here and we'll bring in some dimensionals. Because what would a card be without dimensionals? Am I right? Now, I don't want to say I was struggling, but I could not figure out what ribbon I would want to add to this card. So I opted not to have ribbon on this card. All right. So we're going to, what was my sentiment? Oh, I'm just going to stamp happy birthday. So I think we'll put him off to the side, just like that. And I am going to grab this right here. And I'm going to use my happy birthday. Let's see what size I would like to use. I guess we'll use my small one right here. All right. And I am just going to grab a scrap piece of white. I tend to have like 1-inch and 1/2-inch scraps laying all over. So I'm just going to grab a piece of that out. I'll make sure that you have a little scrap of it in your kit. I just happened to forget to do that. All right. You know what? I think that's going to be pretty wide. Let's just cut that one in half. So we're going to grab a piece and you'll have a 1/2-inch strip here. I can just find a piece that doesn't have stuff on it. All right. Can't believe I've forgotten to do that. There'll be a number of things I forgot to do, but when I send you your kit, they'll all be there. It's just when I do the videos, sometimes I forgot. So I'm gonna put this right in my other kit so I have it. All right. Come on. I want to stay on my board. Now this particular sentiment is thin. It will fit on the 1/2-inch strip. If your sentiment's a little larger, then just grab a larger scrap. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it in black. Again, I'm just going to bring my stamp pad to my stamp. It's been working better for me that way today. I don't usually do that, but I don't know. It's been one of those days where things are a little odd for me. No matter what I do, everything kind of has been working backwards. It happens. Life happens. You know, just roll with it. All right, and then we're just going to snip it down. I'm going to cut it pretty close to the sentiment there. I'm going to pop that up on some dimensionals. So I'll grab my little mini dimensionals here. Now, he's already popped up, and this is going to be layering over the top of him. So I want to make sure, I'm probably only going to do 2, but I'm only going to add them to the left side because this is going to be layering on top of him. But what I'll do to make that stick is I'll just take a little dab of glue. A little dab will do ya. All right. Yeah, we'll just put that right here. Happy birthday. Okay, so that is our first card. What do you think? All right, and this one actually flips open this way. It's going to throw people off because they're going to be like, oh, let's open it this way. No, it opens this way. And why? It's because that's the way I grab my card. Okay, so that one's done. Put that back in its little place here. And now let's get going with one of the other cards. Now, this next card is very fun. It is called the floating strip technique. And we're actually going to be doing 2 parts. So there's a part 1 and a part 2. So when you go and open up your class kit, make sure you do part 1 first. Now, I'm going to give you a couple little tips. I'm also going to do a little bit for you that I don't have on my props here. So let me just grab everything out here. So I need my layering leaves. So this is a newer stamp set, and it coordinates with a punch that we've had for a little while called, I don't know, bows. What's it called? Bow punch. Pretty original. There we go. So we'll be using those. You know what? Let me put all these things out of our way because I'm going to keep grabbing them like I need them, and I don't. At least not now. All right. I'm going to be using some foam adhesive strips. I will also need my silicone mat because I'm going to be doing some gluing. Now, the fun part about this card is you're going to be getting a whole bunch of strips of cardstock in here. Yeah, this is mine. Okay. And this is the, I forgot what this is called. This is the textured shimmer paper. So it's balmy blue, shade spruce, and white. All right. So there's random strips in here. You'll get enough to cover what you need to do. Let me zoom back out here. Okay. And you're also going to get a card base, which is shaded spruce. Again, 4 1/4 by 11. So this is the way it opens. It doesn't look right. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem right. Let me just measure this real quick. Yeah, it's 4 1/4. All right. I don't know. All right. Then you're also going to have a piece of balmy blue. You're going to have a piece of basic white. Okay. Put these off to the side. And you're also going to have a chunk of Parakeet Party. That is what you're going to be punching your bows out of. I've already done that for this card. And then you'll have a window sheet. Now this is 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to end up doing, we're going to do our floating technique, and then I'm going to go ahead and run it through the die cut machine. Now in your kits, I'm going to do something a little different. Just in case you don't have a die cut machine, I'm going to actually cut your circle out for you. So you will have a window sheet that has a hole in it, and you'll also have a circle. But you'll be doing both things the same way. It's really the same technique. All right, so I'm just going to start with, let's just start with our strip of shaded spruce here. All right. Now this is way longer. This is 6 inches long than it has to be, and I'm just going to put this right up at the top. All right. Give it a good press. And then I'll come in with a 1/4 inch strip of the white. Now I do want to be careful on how much glue I'm putting down, because I don't want that glue oozing out onto my window sheet. I'm going to be leaving a little bit of a space in between my strips. Right. Try not to get your fingerprints all over either. And then I take this, and it doesn't matter what strips you grab. Just grab your strips and go. It really does not matter what order you put them in. In fact, every card that I've done different. So, and you know, make the space between each one does not have to be the same either. So if you look, they're a little bit different. It doesn't matter. Just lay them on there. Just get them on there. All right, let's grab we'll grab this. We'll do another piece of white. We'll do this thicker white now. So this is a 1/2 inch strip. So again, you're going to get all sorts of chunks. You're going to get all sorts of strips in your kit. But I wanted to show you this technique and really what it was like. And maybe I won't do the circle for you. Maybe I'll just leave it. You can always, well, no, because we'll need it for the other card. Okay, and blue again. Oh, let's see, now my glue snuck out there. And I'm going to put white. How many of you have tried this technique before? Let me know. I'm going to do kind of want to do this green here. And then my piece of blue is pretty big, so I'm going to trim it down. I actually have another strip here that's small. Okay, I'm going to go a 1/4 inch strip here. Like I said, you're going to have enough strips that you can play around with it. There's no set amount of strips that I'll have in there. I just will cut a bunch for you. And they'll be at different widths. Alright, we'll get this last piece down. And again, I want to finish my, I would like to finish my card so that my last strip, not my card, my layer, is right at the bottom of my window sheet. All right. I could almost add another strip in there, but oh well. All right, so now when you use your silicone mat, see there's extra glue there? It didn't stick to my work surface, it just stuck to the mat. So what I normally do is I would let this dry for a little bit before I do anything, but for the sake of the video, I'm live, we're just going to do it right now. So I'm going to just trim these ends off. These are all going to be scraps. I'm just carefully cutting because I want to be straight and I don't want to cut my window sheet. Let's get rid of those. Now, you could definitely actually just leave this like this. You don't even have to do these next steps, but I thought it was pretty cool. In fact, I think I'm going to leave it up to you if you're going to, I'm not going to die cut your circle. You're going to do that yourself or not. I'm going to leave that up to you. All right, so we're going to bring in our die cut machine now. Now, when you do die cut this, it takes a little bit of going back and forth, just to let you know. And I actually, instead of I'm going to use this one. I don't remember what I was going to do. I'm sorry. I kind of lost my train of thought. No, I wanted to use the circle. All right, so I'm going to scoot over here. I'm going to grab... Now, our circle dies are no longer available. So I'm going to have to pull in my stylish shapes. Now, the thing about this is the stylish shapes has that little bit of stitching. It's going to be... You're not going to notice as much on here, okay? And... We'll grab this one here. We're just going to cut that right out of the middle. So bring it in. When you do this, you'll have to run it back and forth several times to get cut through that because it's a lot of layers there. And normally your die cut machine doesn't always like to cut that many layers at one time. So to make sure that you get it cut all the way through, you'll have to go back and forth. Oh, I was trying to prevent that from happening. All right. You know what? I kind of like that, maybe. No, we'll go that way. I was just figuring out the best part where I wanted to put my circle, but I'm just going to go with it right here. All right. And there's one. I'm probably going to do it like 3 or 4 times. All right, hopefully that cut through. Let's see. Maybe I'll run it through one more time. I'm just going to turn it down. Turn it a little bit. Like one little side didn't cut, and that's because of that stitching. So if you have a die that doesn't have stitching, I'd recommend using that. It doesn't have to be a circle. You can use whatever die you want. I still hear it cutting through, so there we go. I think that should be done. All right. There we go. So now I'm just going to gently lift that out. All right. I am going to put this one aside for one of my other cards. And we will be using the other card tonight. So, put that away. All right. Now, this is for the inside. This is going to be for my outside here. And what I would like to do, where did I put my, there they are, okay. Now I chose to use Parakeet Party just because it was really bright on here. You could definitely choose a different color when you were working with your supplies. But this is what I chose for the class today. I feel like I just need a little more light. I don't know why it's so dark in here today. All right. Okay, before I put this on though, I want to pop it up because I want to be able to see kind of that, or not see my window sheet. I want it to look like my strips are floating off the card. So what I'll do now is I'm going to bring in my foam adhesive strips. Love these things. These are great for making shaker cards and this kind of card. These foam adhesive strips, just so you know, are thicker than our dimensionals. So if you're using this and dimensionals, just know that your dimensional is not going to be the same height. So I'm just moving this down so I can see. I want to layer this across, but I want it hidden behind my strip of paper. I'll get out my snips here. I'm just going to trim it right there. Oh, I suppose I can use that piece right here. We'll grab another strip. Right here. And I do want to use enough that it's going to support that whole layer. So I do need to add some along the side here. But I figure I'll get my long pieces cut first. And then I come back and add these little shorter pieces. All right. And we'll just add one here. Oops, let go, let go, let go. Now, if you don't have the foam adhesive strips, you can use dimensionals. You just got to make sure that your dimensionals can be hidden behind whatever strip of paper you have there. You can use designer series paper on this card, strips of cardstock. Let your imagination run. And you know what, for good measure, I'm just going to put another one down here. Why not? I have the strip handy. There we go. All right, so we'll peel those off and put that right on the back. I don't know why I don't have my little garbage can down next to me here. I usually do. Again, I move my stuff around and it's not where I'm used to. All right. Now, if you notice, this is the same size. All right. Oh, I missed one. All right. So when you put it down, just make sure that you're layering it. Good. If you're worried about getting this even, you could trim this down just slightly. But I'm just going to turn this so I can see where I'm going here. There we go. All right. So now we've got that little bit of a layer there, see? And look, it looks like they're floating off the card. So just a fun way. And then I'm going to just go ahead and grab my liquid glue here and put this right onto my card front. And I do want to make sure that I'm using enough liquid glue. I'm doing a thin bead, but I want to make sure I have enough so it's going to stay on. So let's add this right here. All right. Now, we're going to come back in with our branch pieces here. I'm just going to tuck some in. And I am going to pull in a sentiment now. Now these are going to be kind of hidden, so just going to kind of layer them around just like that. And where is my, now this is the Nested Essentials dies. So before I can put this on, I need to decide what sentiment I'm going to use. So I'm going to do sending hugs on the outside, and the inside I'm going to put a happy birthday. Again, brand new stamp set. Just came in this week. So I decided we're going to be using it for our birthday class. This is one you'll be seeing more frequently. I do have another one that I was really hoping I would have in time, but it didn't happen. So it's construction zone. So I'll have more of a, well, I don't want to call this a floral set, but a nature set. And then I'll have a, like a kids set. And then I'll probably alternate the other two. Okay, so now all I have to do is figure out what size is going to fit on here. This is going to fit on. So it looks like this one. That might be a little big. Let's try this one. And that one's going to be a little bit small. So we'll go for the little bit bigger one here. We'll run this through the die cut machine. And we're just going to grab our scrap piece of white that you have in your kit. And I don't know what I did with mine. So let me just grab another piece. And we'll pull in the die cut machine. I'm going to go ahead and die cut my label first, and then I'll stamp it. Would the circle punch work? I don't know, to tell you the truth. I don't know if it would be, I think it would be really hard to punch. Try it out with some cardstock, because you're going to have like multiple layers there. So think of it like 2 layers of cardstock. And those window sheets are not that flimsy, so they're pretty tough. So I think it would be very hard to do it with a circle punch. I haven't ever tried it before, and I've used circle punches on just the window sheet by itself, and it was a little bit of a challenge. So that's why I don't know what the layers on it. But you could always die cut punch your window sheet first and then add your strips. So you could do it on a circle. So like for this, you could die cut or punch your circle and then just add your strips and cut them around. You could do it that way too. That's what I was thinking about doing the die cutting for you. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work well. So I'm just going to send you the whole sheet, and you either have to make the whole sheet or you'll have to die cut it. One or two. All right. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull in, I think we'll use, I kind of like the Azure Afternoon. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I want to use Granite Green. All right. So just sending hugs. Oh, you can tell that my stamp pad is not inked evenly. Oh well. Alright. So now, I just need to grab a little bit of my foam strips again. I'm putting this right like that. So, I want to put it more at an angle here. So I'm putting these at an angle over on the one side. You can actually kind of curl these too. So let me show you. So if you wanted to curl it, you could just really kind of twist that and curl it a little bit. That way my foam piece is on the inside here where that was a little lower. So I have that there. So we'll go ahead and adhere that. All right, and we'll take this stem here and just put it right on the front like that, right? Yeah, we'll just put it right here. And I'm just going to use my liquid glue to do that. So I am going to use my little thin dispenser here. And all I did is I put my regular liquid glue right in this little dispenser that I have. And hopefully it didn't get clogged from the last time I used it. Kind of looks like it did. So I need to get that little glue stoppage out. There we go. Use my silicone mat to kind of dry that out. All right. And I do want to be careful on how much glue I'm putting on there because I don't want it to smudge and get all over the place. All right. I'll grab my little reverse tweezers here and put right there. Oh, I probably should have been a little more careful. I probably shouldn't have put glue on that. All right. I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to tuck it in right behind. It's going to sit on the back. So I'll just put random drops of glue on here. Just tuck that right in. Just like that. And I think we'll do this one kind of the same way. We'll just snip it down a little bit. And get it tucked in. I like to put my label on first, so just so I know where to tuck everything in. I probably could have not adhered it right away, but I got excited to make the card, so there we go. Okay, and then we're going to put this one right over here. I'm going to grab a little bit of ribbon, and you'll have a little bit of ribbon in your kit. So I'll put this right here, just like that. I just like the technique. So this card was really all about the technique. All right, so I got my balmy blue ribbon here, and I'm just going to tie a little bow. A little smaller. There we go. Oop. Darn. That little guy didn't twist. All right. So I'm going to tell it who's boss. I'm going to twist it myself. And I'll glue it down so it's twisted. All right. Let's just get our snips out here. There we go. Put that right in here. And you know what? I might just put it right by the flowers there. This needs to be a little smaller. Oh. All right. So just like I said, tell your bow who is boss. Let it know where you want it to go. And I'm going to trim those down a little bit more. I'm going to grab a trusty little glue dot here. All right, put that right on there. Get my tools a little bit. We'll stamp the inside of our card and we'll be done with our second card. Now, our third card is going to be partially done because we've already done the hard work. So I'm just going to get some of this picked up a little bit here and out of the way. And stamp the inside. And oh, I've got a big bubble on my work surface here. I spilled the other day. Thank goodness not on my projects, but just on my table. So my little board here got all wet. No, it doesn't want to sit nice and flat. We'll take care of that. Okay. We'll grab our envelope too while we're at it. Move our silicone mat that it got to be a hot mess out of the way. Grab our, where did my sheet go? There it So I'm going to grab my sheet to stamp off on. Next card is super cute too. It features one of our online exclusive products. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our images here in Shaded Spruce and Granny Apple Green. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take, now again, I haven't played with this one yet, so give me a moment here. I'm going to take this one, and I think it will go with that. We'll try it out. This wasn't the card. This was a little bit different than I was originally planning, but when the stamp set came in today, I'm like, oh, I want to use this one. All right. Let's see now, which one did I say? I went the one that was detailed. Where did it go? This one. All right, so I'll put that one right there. Now, because I twisted it, I'm going to just drop it on my work surface and pick it up. I want to make sure that when I stamp my next image, I don't have that twisted either, and they lay on each other really nice. So, first thing to do is whenever you have a new stamp set, you're not quite sure how it's going to look, grab your stamp, grab a scrap piece of paper, and stamp it on that. All right. Then we're going to go ahead with our Granny Apple Green here, look through our stamp, line it up, and stamp. Ooh, how fun. All right, so we're going to do that again. Now, I could actually take my solid image, stamp it. All right, my Granny Apple Green needs to be ring inked. So I need to make sure I have this all inked up really well. Yeah. Okay. And then you can look through and stamp over that. I find it easier to stamp my darker color first than my lighter color. That way I can see that dark color right through the stamp. Now, my Granny Apple Green is not behaving. It's not inked, so I'm grabbing Parakeet Party. So I'll change up my instructions. I'll put Parakeet Party down. Okay. Now, I just said to do this one first. So let's get our... And I'm just going to stamp 2 of them here. All right. Then we'll come back in with our Parakeet Party. I like using Granny Apple Green and Parakeet Party with Shaded Spruce. I think it's really pretty. Turn this way and look through. Look how pretty that looks. All right. So I'll do that right on the bottom here as well. Now, Parakeet Party and Granny Apple Green, they are different greens. They really are. So, Granny Apple Green tends to be a little bit cooler green, and the Parakeet Party is a little warmer green, if that makes sense. But Shaded Spruce is a cooler color too, so that's why I usually use Granny Apple Green with that. But since my stamp pads didn't want to work nicely with me, we just, you know, varied. Go with the flow. Don't worry about it. Oh, we need happy birthday. So let's grab our happy birthday from, might as well use our go-to greens again since we use that. Maybe I'll just stick with this set tonight, and next week we'll use one of the other sets. And let's see. Happy birthday. Here we go. I wanted a little larger one this time. And I need a larger block. And I'm going to stamp in Shaded Spruce. So this one, we didn't really use a whole lot of ink. We let the paper do our work for us. And I had to clean that because I got that little shadow on the edge of my rubber stamp, and that would have been a disaster. All right. Now my shaded spruce here, for some reason, I tend to press really hard in it. I don't know why. I'm just going to put happy birthday right down on the bottom here. Something a little different. Okay. We'll move that and we'll just put the adhesive on, and there is our next card. All right. Okay, there we go. So now we've got our handy dandy envelope, our floater card. I think that's so cool. And we could add some embellishments on there. Why don't we do that? So I'm going to grab my 3-pack tinsel, 3-pack tinsel gems. And we're just going to put a couple just around my, I kind of like this green here. Oh, that's not really going to go with that. Okay, we'll use the blue. Oh, that'll be pretty. Now I'll put one over here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put one in there. And I'll use my larger one down here. And then we'll grab a smaller one for, I don't know, maybe right up here. All right. Not every card needs to have bling. Most cards do, but not every card. All right. Okay, that one's done. We'll put that right with the other one. We'll clean these up, and then we'll get our Rhino Ready stamp pad, stamp in, and we'll make our next card with that leftover piece that we had from this one. This is not very wet. I should have got those a little more damp before the class. Okay, that's all right. And where's sending hugs? Here it is. All right, I don't remember where my sentiments are supposed to go. Sorry, talking to oneself, that's kind of rude of me, I know. Right. I was just trying to figure out where my stamps go back on here. All right. Get this back on. So what do you think of those cards so far? I'd like to give you a variety so that you can see, you can make really any sort of cards. Just use your supplies on hand. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get to our little rhinos. So this one, we're going back to blends again. This one's going to be pretty basic and pretty quick, actually. So this, and you'll have a scrap piece of white in there because we're going to be stamping our little rhino. So that is your white that you'll have. And let's bring back in. I have a thick white card base. So 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Our normal layer, so 5 1/4 by 4. It's going to go right on top. This is just regular white. Okay. And then we have another chunk of white here. That is your scrap to do your rhino. And we need this right here. Okay, just like that. And I do want to take my next color ribbon here, and we'll be using Lost Lagoon. Let's see how it goes with that. Yeah, that'll be fine. So we got a little Lost Lagoon there. I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I'm just going to tie my little ribbon here. I'm just going to tie a knot. And you'll have probably, well, maybe we can tie a bow. No, I'm just going to tie a knot. I've decided I want a knot. Oh, maybe I can't even tie the knot. Oh boy. It's all twisting on me. This ribbon is not letting me be the boss. Okay. I'll trim that down later. I just wanted to have it on there so it's done. This is going to be popped up on dimensionals anyways. So here we go. We've got that. I kind of want to have it right, something like that. Let's go ahead and take our shaded spruce again. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp my birthday sentiment. So in this one, this is an online exclusive. So this one is not in the catalog. This is only available online. Now it did come with dies at one point, but those dies are sold out right now. So we're just gonna get the stamp set. So we're not gonna use the dies. I'm not gonna tease you with that. We're just gonna use the stamp. Although I could do some of the die cutting for you, but we're just going to use a stamp. All right. So then pick out which rhino you like. No, you're going to be cutting him out, and he's going to be sitting right on the circle there. So I kind of like the little sitting guy. I feel like I'm missing something. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I got him all. All right. So I wanted to stamp happy. I wanted a birthday sentiment. So, I'm going to stamp "It's a Great Day." On the inside, we'll do "Hope Your Birthday is Wild." It's a great day. It's a great day. It's a birthday. It's a great day. All right. So this could be for anyone, male or female or otherwise. So we're going to stamp that right down here. It's a great day. And close this back up. We'll bring in our black memento again. And we're going to move this off to the side. Move our ribbon off to the side because we're done with that. Grab the black. Ink this guy up. I'm going to put it right here. All right, now here's a little party hat. So we're going to stamp our little party hat too. Oh, I lied. There's no party hat. Never mind. We're not going to stamp the party hat. It's a die. I forgot. Sorry. Didn't mean to tease you with that. I'll have to pull that off my sample. I don't like showing or demonstrating with products that are not available. I like to make sure everything I use is something that you can get your hands on. Okay, so now we're going to use a couple of things here. I would like to do, let's see, what am I looking for? I am looking for my gray granite, is what I'm looking for. Light gray granite and dark gray granite, there we go. Okay. All right, and I am just going to actually start with my dark. I'm going to color him in. Just really kind of where all the lines are, just to give a little bit of depth to my stamp. All right, and then along where the artist gave us these little black lines, that's also where I'm going to color. All right, and we'll come in with our light and kind of blend it all together. So I'm just pulling a darker color in to where there's the white, and those colors will start to blend together. Now, if you wanted to do your little rhino's toenails in a particular color, you could. Grab out whatever blends you want. You want to give them little pink toenails. Maybe blue. All right. I'm going to leave his little tusk white. We'll fussy cut him out real quick. Oops, I forgot to color his tail. Don't forget the tail. All right. He is just so stinking cute. I love this one. I'm so sad that those dies are not available, but he is stinking cute. And I love when I have made cards where I can use whatever piece I've cut out before on another card. I don't feel like I'm wasting anything then, right? Am I right, all of you? I know you all save your scraps. I know you're hoarding your designer series paper, which, hey, by the way, get that out, crack it open, cut it up. I have found that if I leave my designer series paper in its package, in its plastic packaging, and I don't cut it, I don't use it. I know, right? And I should, because I'm a demonstrator, and I demonstrate all the time. But yeah, I found that I don't always use it. So I get it out and I start cutting it up right away. All right, so we're going to just put him right here, just like that. Kind of nice little moon. It's a very quick and easy card. I didn't want to do a lot with this one just because we've done so much with the other cards. And on here now, I'm just going to go ahead and put my liquid glue right behind my strips. Again, just be careful that you don't get too much on there because you don't want that to ooze out. Right. And I think I'm going to flip it around so my green is on the bottom here. Now, the other ones we popped up. This one, I'm just going ahead and adding it right on there. But it still looks like they're floating. And we're going to pop him up on dimensionals, or her, whatever you want to call it. Him, her, it, they, them. Right. So just stick that right there. It's a great day. We'll slide our ribbon down just a little bit. We'll get our snips out. We'll trim that, give a little bit of a haircut. All right, then we'll add some dimensionals to this side, or you can use foam strips as well. So if you purchase the, where did I put my card base? If you get the June Studio Card Club, just so you know, you might really appreciate foam strips. Just saying. There may be some in your kit. I try to surprise my club members with different things, so you don't always get like designer series paper and embellishment and get kind of bored with it. I mix it up. I add different things all the time. All right, so there's our third card. Nice, quick, and easy. Great way to use the rest of your leftovers. And we'll just put all this away, and we'll get to, stamping our envelope. Gotta do that, right? No naked envelopes. So let's grab this in, and I am just going to take my blending brush this time, and I have one that has green on it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my parakeet, my granny apple green here. Since I've already got to ink this, like that, I'm going to take my, I'm just going to add ink right to the bottom here. Okay. Did you know that, yes, you can do those envelopes? You sure can. We'll grab our shaded spruce, and we're going to grab the little grass image here. So that's your little grass image, and we're going to stamp our grass along the bottom. Here we go. If you wanted to do the back, you can do the back too. That'd be kind of fun. I'm just going to do the front. All right, we'll get these cleaned up, and we'll get to our last card. Now, I know this video is going to be a little bit longer on YouTube, and I usually try to keep my YouTube videos short, but because this is a class series, it is a little bit longer. And I hope you really do like these cards that I'm making. And again, if you would like the class kit, spend $35 at my online store. While I'm cleaning up, I'll bring back in the host code. And when you purchase $35, retail, I will send you the class kit. And, oh, where did Sam's go? Where did I put it? When you spend $50, I'll include an embellishment with your class kit. All right. It may be ribbon, it may be dimensional. I'm not dimensionals. It may be ribbon, it may be gems. It'll be something. It'll be something fun. All right. Okay, where is our last card now? That is this one. That is this one. We got the Supremely Awesome. We've got the layering. We got the Rhino. All right, next is, oh, really fun one. I'm so glad I waited this one until last. This is the faux shutter technique. Now, some of you have seen the shutter cards that are out there on Pinterest and all that kind of stuff. This is kind of a little cheat on that. All right. So your class kit here, you're going to be getting a Azure Afternoon. I don't know if it's Azure or Azure, whatever. Card base. You're getting a piece of basic white for your inside layer. Your basic white is going to be used to make your outside, your top layer. You'll have 4 pieces of, 5 pieces of designer series paper in your kit. So there'll be 3 by 6. You'll have 5 little pieces there. You're also going to have 4 strips of, actually you're going to have a 2-inch strip. You need to cut these down to 1/2-inch strips. So you need 4 of them. So you'll be getting that in your envelope. All right, so this is all the stuff that's in your envelope. All right. So I've done a little bit of my prep work ahead of time here. I've got my card base. And we're going to be using our little monkey stamp set. I've taken one of my strips here and I've cut this to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I'm going to be layering that right in the middle of my card, just like that, at an angle. So I'm going to go ahead and use my seal right now for this one. But everything else, I'm going to be using my liquid glue because I need to have that little wiggle room. So decide which way you want your paper to go. Kind of try to center it. There we go. Now, let's start with laying our strips of designer series paper. Now, if you notice, I'm just laying these 2 like that, and I'm going to be trimming it off, but I want to make sure that my edge of my paper goes to the edge of that cardstock. That's my base, all right? And I'm bumping it up right here. So I'll add some liquid glue so that I can do that. So that will be the first thing I do. I'm going to go on my liquid glue, and I'm going to add it right to this card layer. I don't want to add too much because I don't want it to be a big mess. So I should really use my silicone mat, but it's kind of covered with glue. All right, so I'm just going to slide that in, lift it up, and make sure I'm not getting too much glue on my work surface. Now, as I go, I could trim at, right now. I'm going to glue this next piece down, and then I'll trim it. This way, I know I will have some extra paper, kind of a little paper saving thing there. Right, again. Pick the colors that you like best, the sides that you like best. All right, just like that. Now, don't worry if there's a little bit of edge of glue right there. It'll be fine because we will be covering that. All right, so let's take our... There's one. So you will have a few larger pieces left for something else. All right. And I'm just cutting along my cardstock here. Put those aside. And I do kind of want to use this one. Which way do I want to go with it? I have to edge here. And I kind of like this one. All right. So now I'm just going to add these last two pieces. So it's got our liquid glue here. Now I just happen to have a scrap. That's why that one is a 3x3 square. You kind of do have to leave your pieces a little bit larger so that you can get all the way around instead of trying to measure this. If you tried to measure these angles, it would just be nuts. Just saying. Just grab the paper and go. Have fun with it. You can use it on more cards. Alright, so this one right here. Now this piece is going to overlap this other piece of designer series paper just a tad, but that's okay. Now a demonstrator in one of the Stampin' Up! Groups had introduced us to this. Kevin Thiessen, I believe was his name. I'm just trying to go back to my notes to find it. But he did a demonstration to the Great Lakes demonstrators. There are a number of us that report directly to Stampin' Up! So we are a part of a larger group, and that's what he shared with us. So it was just a really fun technique, and I said, I can't wait to use it. I am definitely using that Thursday night. So I wanted to give him a shout out because this was really his idea. Totally not my idea. And yeah, I wish I would have wrote down, I thought I wrote down his name. I swear I wrote it down. Oh, it's not there, it's not there. I don't know what I did. Well, I believe it's Kevin Thiessen. All right. So I'll go ahead and he happened to use the Zany Zoo as the stamp set of his choice. I just couldn't resist using the Little Monkey again. Again, that is the special for the Stamp Studio Club this month, the Studio Club. It is the Little Monkey bundle. All right. So now we're going to take our 1/2-inch strips here and we are going to just put them across. So we're kind of like creating that shutter thing without having to do all that work. It's a lot faster to do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and just put, now I do really want my silicone mat in here. Even though I'm going to get glue in the back, that's fine. I'm going to just put adhesive on my strip here, and I'm just bumping it right up along that square there. Okay, so there's one. And yeah, it's sticking because I got that glue on there. All right, I'm trimming as I go. You don't necessarily have to do this right now. You could do it later. But because I've got all that glue on the back, I'm having some problems with it. All right, so now let's go ahead and go this way. And actually, I'm not doing this right. Oh, yeah, I am. No, I'm not. Okay, well, we'll go that way with it. We're just going to make them long, and then I shouldn't have trimmed that one down. That's all right. We'll make do here. We'll kind of cover that up. I want to leave these strips long until I get this on my card base. So all right, now we'll bring on my card base. this is where I want to trim these down. So I want my little strips to kind of go to the edge of my card base. So let's go ahead, we'll adhere this down. I could make this a little smaller and then put another layer behind it, which would look really cool too. But this is my version of it. All right. I'll get that pressed down. I'll close it up. Now, and just take our snips here, flip this over, and just trim these off. Right along the edge of the cardstock here. All right. Okay. Get rid of all that sticky stuff. All right, so there we go. Now let's go ahead and probably could angle that a little bit different, but you play around with it. You try it out, see how you like it. We're gonna grab a scrap of our basic white here. I'm gonna grab the monkey that you can punch out with the punch, because we'll pull that punch in. So I'm gonna grab my memento again. I'm just going to stamp it right there, cover that up, and I'm going to bring in my pecan pie again. I've got my dark and my light, and I'm also going to grab in my crumb cake. I'll grab my light crumb cake. All right, so let's go ahead and color him in. So we'll add our dark first here. So I'm just going to add some right here. And just run around the body here. Maybe on his tail, we'll color his tail dark. Right. All right. We'll come back in with the light. And we'll just put it all together. Okay, I'm not coloring on the inside of his ears yet because I'm going to do that in crumb cake, along with the inside of his little face. So we're just going to do this. Now you can use this technique with really any stamp set. All right, let's just blend that in a little bit more. Right in here, right in there. And we'll go ahead and use our crumb cake now and just color in. Oop. I tend to color upside down. I turn my project all the time when I'm coloring. I don't know why. It just makes it easier for me to see. But yeah. So laugh at me if you will. That's fine. I'm a big girl. Some people don't have to move it around. I do. So, there we go. Okay. Isn't he stinking cute, too? I just love the little animals. I'm just, yeah. And when they have a punch, when a stamp set has a punch or a set of dies, oh my gosh, I can't resist. And punches are great. So if you don't have a die cut machine, or if you're not familiar with using it yet, or not comfortable with it yet, get the stamp sets that get the coordinating punches. And I can tell you, usually these stamp sets and punches are some of the first things that sell out. So that's why I started really early with the with this bundle, because I wanted to make sure this didn't sell out. And now I need my little white back again because I need to stamp a little sentiment. So we're just going to say, oh, we want to say birthday. So I need a birthday. Let's get out our, let's see. We're going to stamp because you're awesome. Because you're awesome. Happy birthday because you're awesome. So here's my inside. And you know what? Let's stamp a little monkey on the inside. let's go ahead and take our little hanging monkey here. Good luck. I know. We could have done this faster if I didn't think of that. And you know what? This is kind of cute too. We might just want to hang him in front too. You know what? We are. Because I really feel it just needs a little more to the front of the card. Oh, not this one. I want my scrap. Where did I just go with that? Here it is. So I'm going to stamp one to cut out for the front. And then we'll stamp one for the inside. And I want to just stamp this right here so it looks like it's hanging off the top of the card. Oh, danger. Let's color these in real quick. And we'll color his face in with our little ears, little ears. Color him darker here. Oh, might as well do this one the same way. I'm just putting the darker, just to kind of give it like a low light look on some areas. And then I'll come back in with the lighter one. All right. So here we go with the lighter one. Now, this is kind of a little challenge one to fussy cut. Just saying. Just the tail is a little fun. Not that it's hard, it's just a little more fun. Okay. Which card would be fun in the Southwest themes? I'm sorry, I just saw your comment. The rhino one? Or this one that I'm working on now. I mean, if you weren't someone that was into like the cutesy animals or, you know, the kids kind of cards, feel free to swap out the stamp set. You could definitely do this with flowers or balloons or, you know, really anything. It's just what designer series paper I happen to grab. That's all. All right. And now I just need his little face over here. And then we'll be done. Well, we'll have to fussy cut this one, but then we'll be done. I just think that little monkey is just so sweet with that little face. All right, let's get this one cut out. Just because this will take a little bit of concentration here. So not that I'm ignoring you, I'm just concentrating on cutting this out so I don't mess up the tail. At least the inside one I don't have to cut, right? Now, I don't necessarily have to cut it all out, but I kind of feel like it needs to be. And I'm going to bring back in the punch that we used earlier, the bow punch, and we're going to add a little bit of bows to him, to the front, so our monkeys aren't just floating in the air. I mean, you know, flying monkeys, floating monkeys. All right. So how many of you have heard about the Studio Card Club and saw the information on the Little Monkey Business Club? Oh my goodness. I totally went retro on that. I couldn't resist Okay, so we're stamping happy birthday because you're totally awesome. You're totally awesome. That's what I want in here. Where is it? All right. Grab a block. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring my memento in. And we're going to stamp our sentiment right towards the top this time. Just like that. Every once in a while, you have to change up where you put your sentiments on your cards. Am I right? All right. So let's get some little bows in here. And we're going to go ahead and grab, since that is, I believe it's lemon lime twist. That's what we're going to be using. Where did my... I just want to check the colors because I had the cardstock cut for it. I just don't remember if I had the right color. So give me a moment here. Lemon lime twist. Okay, that's what it was. Alright, so we'll grab our lemon lime twist here. And that is one of our new colors. Where is it? Lemon lime twist, where are you? It is. Oh. Where did it go? Okay, we'll just grab a sheet. And as soon as I get these punched and attached, then we'll be done, and I'll pull in the original cards. My lemon lime twist is just a little bit more yellow than what we had for the other card. All right, there we go. So we'll just cut a random number of these out. I don't know how many we'll need, but we'll just cut a random number. So you'll get a chunk here. All right, so let's get these. Have in the front here, and I'm just going to trim some of this down. Like I don't want this one to have such a long stem, so we'll tuck that right to the edge there, and we'll tuck this one right over here. Just kind of overlap them a little bit. Again, I'm going to trim these down. Slide that one underneath. Kind of make them hanging from the in there. We'll put this one right behind him. And you know what? I think we'll need one more. Right. And I think we'll just have it kind of going like that. All right, and then we'll have our sentiment right here. So let's go back to our scrap piece of white here, and we are going to just go ahead and, where's my happy birthday? Here it is. Oh, my happy birthday is, yeah, right here. So all I'm going to do here is have a 1-inch strip here, and I'm just going to stamp happy birthday, and I'm going to put it right on there. I'm going to flag the ends of it though, and we're going to do this in black. So when you're stamping, give yourself enough room on the ends of your piece here. All right, and we'll just go ahead and oh, I didn't make that very, oh, that's fine. That works out fine. All right. Happy birthday. All right. And we're just going to pop that up right there. So let's go ahead and get everything adhered, and we'll have it all done. All right. Let's see. Okay, so again, $35 order in my online store before tax, shipping, and handling. And you will get the 4 envelopes with all the stuff that you need to make your card. Purchase $50 and I will add an embellishment to your class kit. And this is available until June 17th. And you do need to use the host code. That's how I'm able to give you extra gifts and come up with extra ideas. So I'm just going to tuck this right behind here because that's where he's going to be, or she's going to be, or it's going to be, whatever. All right. There we go. We're going to add all of this on dimensionals here. So I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals just so I can get these all set on here. So let's just grab. Now, when I get to these smaller pieces here, I sometimes have to cut these little dimensional strips here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just cutting off the edge. And I want to make sure that my tail is supported. So I've got this little piece here for my tail. Right. And let's get this one done. I've got this piece for this tail. Actually, I left enough room here to go ahead and put a full dimensional. So we can put a full dimensional right there. And I can actually just cut this in half. I know we're using little pieces now, but little pieces are our friends when we have a skinny little shape. All right. Put there. There. Okay. All right, let's get him added to the front. Let's take him first. Grab some of my mess here. Oh, where's it? Want to put that back on. All right. So I'm going to put him here. And I'm going to use my larger dimensionals for this one. Oh, what the? Okay, so the backing came off, but not the foam thing here. All right. There we go. Well, that was just odd. All right. So we'll put this right here. Happy birthday. And now we'll get our last little monkey on. So I will, okay. It wants to stick to my nail, not the card. There we go. Okay. All right, so we'll just hang this right here. How cute is that? Let's put this on the inside and be done with our card. Now there are some other fun little stamps in this stamp set you can stamp on your envelope. So again, we're going to bring in our scrap piece of paper and we'll use our blending brush. Grab our envelope here. I'm just going to clean up these little scraps here because they're bothering me. All right, blending brush, envelope. Where's the envelope? Well, envelope, where did you go? All right, let's grab a new envelope. I really don't know what I just did with my envelope. I mean, it was right here with me. What happened? Okay. So again, I still had some ink still on here, but so this is grinding up a green. But I'm going to come back in with my parakeet party. I just want a little bit brighter green here now. Starting off, and just do that. And now I can take. We're just going to take a couple of the leaves here and randomly start stamping them. So I am just going to put them this way, and I'll go ahead and just use my parakeet party here. keep them kind of light. Well, that was a little too light, right? Now, because that one stamped really light, I'm going to go ahead and take this one again and put another one right there. There we go. All right. So that is my envelope. Okay, so let's bring in these cards that we made tonight. And this is week 1. So week 2 of our birthday series class will be on June. Where'd my mouse go here? Sorry, I had to just get back to my other screen here. It will be June 22nd. So that will be our next weekly one. Next week will be our normal kind of class. And let's bring in all the finished cards. So we've got our little rhino and our little monkey. I know I used kind of cutesy animal ones tonight. I'll be changing that up. This one we'll be staying with. We'll be staying with the layering leaves. And I'll probably end up, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to be changing up. This one I'm definitely keeping. So, okay, here we go. All right, so those are the 4 cards that we made tonight. Hope you enjoyed those. This is the birthday series week 1 class. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend. Love you all, and I appreciate you being here with me all night. All right, take care.